Have you ever commissioned or had songs written specifically for the show?
There's a Bob Dylan recorded a Dean Martin song called Return to Me.
And how did that come about?
That came about, I'm not exactly what the real genesis of it was, but Bob Dylan's manager, Jeff, said that Bob Dylan would like to do that song for our show.
Return to me.
It was Mr. Dylan's idea.
Any word, anything? He probably went down to Florida. Bro, I'm sure he's fine.
Nothing but lies coming out of this guy's mouth.
Come on.
He seems totally engrossed and depressed by what's happened to poor Jackie. And he's coming home. He's returning to Rosalie. Tony returns to Carmela. That's why this song, it's Return to Me.
Return to me.
Smells good.
Lemon snaps for the bake sale at church.
Most of the songs we use that are sort of center stage are lyrics. We haven't done as many instrumentals.
Mm-hmm.
And lyrics are just another form of dialogue, if you want to put it that way. It's a Greek chorus, you know.
Right.
David's a writer, so he brings a sensibility of the written word with music. It's not his style to use something where the writing in the song takes that much of an on-the-nose aspect.
I mean, there are several people who, if we just used nothing but their music, the Stones, Dylan, and Elvis Costello, we could have done the whole show with
Really?
any one of those people. Literally, we could have done the entire series, could have been the Rolling Stones sing about the Mafia.
Mm-hmm.
Or Bob Dylan sings about the Mafia.
Uh-huh.
It would have just been, it would have been so easy, and I don't know how to explain that.
And what is it about Elvis Costello that
There's a certain drama. It seems that some of those songs have the same preoccupations that our show does. Intimacy.
Yeah. There's something very brooding and masculine about it.
And menacing. I think there's a lot of menace.
And menace, yeah.
There's a commonality in these artists in that they shoot from the hip. In other words, they're not talking about light fare. They say things which are like, I love you, I hate you, I'm lonely, I'm despairing, very direct, and they don't pull any punches. And to me, that is what this show is.
We were talking before the camera started rolling, which I was interesting, is you talked about how in the show, when you're writing the show, that a lot of times every word coming out of everybody's mouth is a lie.
Especially the Tony and the crew, and the other guys from New York. Most of what they say is not accurate either to what they're feeling or the real state of the world.
Do you think they're aware that they're lying in this moment?
Sometimes, and sometimes not. It's just second nature.
Because it's just duplicity comes with a criminal life, or duplicity comes with just being a male?
No, I think it's the criminal life. I think they're just so used to not telling the truth. Very little of what they say is the truth.
I was thinking about this because you talked about the sentimentality a lot of the songs that Junior is singing, and that seems to be sort of a lie embedded in a lot of that. And so using the song to try to create the emotion that everyone thinks they should be feeling.
Yes, right. I would say that's accurate.
And how did it come about that you used Dominic Giannese singing himself?
It just seemed right for the story.
Yeah.
That he would be at this wake. Have to be persuaded to sing, which of course he wasn't. He couldn't wait. And I'd heard Dominic sing these songs, and it just felt right for the story. That he would lapse into this sentimentality, and that all these people, that this Jackie Jr. was dead, and all these people would be like crying these crocodile tears listening to this, this very sentimental Italian Neapolitan music.
What's that mean, Warringrada? Ungrateful heart.
It's a universal feeling of a man who tries very hard to please his family, to be the family man that he wants to be. It's not only Italian or Italian-American, or it transcends all kinds of cultures.
Tu non ci pensas tu, dolore mio.
Tu non pensas tu, dolore mio. David did ask me, what does that line mean in that song? And I said, it means that you don't think about my pain. And of course, in that scene, the children have an attitude of, Why is that old man singing these songs? And you know, why are people crying? They're such hypocrites. The kids just don't understand that they're crying because if the heart is ungrateful, it makes you cry.
And how about the end? Then the music over the end credits. How do you think about that? I mean, because most people
that takes a lot of time. We try this and then that.
Do we usually use a snippet of the song early in the show?
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
ideally, it's nice when you can do that.
What you gonna do tonight? When you need some loving on, hold your tight.
Okay, now we have Otis Redding.
Yeah. This, I think, is one of the first times where the song went through more than one scene, and I think the whole last 4 or 5 minutes of the show is scored with this. Mm-hmm. And I was really happy with the way it turned out. And Stevie actually said to me, that was great. He liked this usage.
It's a different lover's prayer than Otis was talking about, but the song is just so great. It kind of transcends the fact that the lyrics could be taken literally, you know?
This scene with this song. I mean, I could still get choked up about this.
How come?
It's very sad. It's very sweet.
No, oh my God, crazy!
See, it goes from this death sequence to this sex sequence. I think we're rooting for this couple on some level. Mm-hmm. To solve their problems, to get beyond their small-mindedness. I think we want them to be happy. And we want them to find each other and find themselves. Mm-hmm. And it ends with Tony and Carmelo's hands, like, really clenched tight. And then you go from that to this. These are angels here. So it's, prayers and angels. And it comes on before the titles. And we move into the titles with it.
And, well, it just takes you out of the show and back into your own life. Right. Well, I think that's a good point. Because I think the music, it helps create the natural mood. I mean, because the music you choose, is so seductive and energetic and menacing and often very emotionally, very accessible. To me, it really rounds out the show in this way that is often so surprising. And feels, oddly organic to the scenes. And, I mean, that must be much harder than it looks.
Yeah, we have to try out a lot of different stuff. Uh-huh. And some things are almost there and then not quite right, or it just doesn't fit with the picture. You have to try, but you do know it when you see it.